The graph of the linear function f is shown in the xy plane above. The slope of the graph of the linear function g is 4 times the slope of the graph of f. If the graph of g passes through the points 0, -4, what is the value of g of 9? This is a pretty involving question for several reasons. First, there's a lot to work through and wade through in that little paragraph that we're given. But second, and more importantly, is that we only have an f of x over here. The equation that we are seeing is f of x, whereas the question references a g of something. So where is this function g of x coming from? I mean, where do we find it? So we were given f of x and a couple of clues to be able to figure this out. So remember, linear functions are in the form of y equals mx plus b. Remember, g of x is just a fancy of saying y, so I'm just going to leave that there. It's like y equals mx plus b. Now, we were given some clues. It says the graph of the linear function g is 4 times the slope of the graph of f. So if we know the slope of this original line given, we just multiply it by 4, and we have the slope of g. So let's figure out the slope of f of x. Remember, given a graph, you can just find slope by counting. Slope is rise over run. From that point to this point, you want to find two really distinct points. How do we go from the left to right here? We go up 1 over 1, 2 places. So the slope of this line is 1 over 2. Then we are told that the slope of the new line, g of x, is 4 times the slope of f. So if you multiply this by 4, we'll have the new slope for g. So half of 4 is 2, which tells us the slope of g of x is 2x plus some value b. Remember, with these equations, you had to have a number for a slope. We just found it. And we also have to have a number for the y-intercept. That's our next task. Why do we need that? Because we have to answer this question, g of 9. We can't answer g of 9 until we have a full equation. To have a full equation, we need to figure out what b is. So to find b, we were given even more clues. So I'm going to draw your eye to this section right here. It says the graph of g passes through the points 0, 4. So they gave us a point that actually belongs to this line. And thankfully, 0, 4 is an x value and a y value. That tells us we can plug in a -4 in here, equals 2 times 0 plus b. So to solve for b, we just need to do a little bit of algebra, and you find that b is -4. So the full equation for g of x is actually 2x minus 4. Now that we have a full equation for g of x, we can answer any question. For example, g of 9, we are simply being asked to plug in a 9 into the x. So 2 times 9 minus 4 becomes 18 minus 4, which ends up being 14. So C is the answer to this question. Conceptually, this question combines several things that we've looked at. Of course, we have the linear function idea. We have, does this person know how to find slope given an equation? Given a line, rather? Yes, if you do know how to do that, then that's great. Does this person know how to find the y-intercept? Yes. If you're given a clue, then you can find it. And last but not least, does this person understand function notation? G of 9 means plugging a 9 into the x once you have the equation. And that's it.